So I've been able to travel the world and learn all the secrets of human performance and extreme muscle building. And one of them is massaging and stretching and active release, all the things that they do here at Movement Matters Epic Chiropractic here in Sacramento. So Dan Sines, Dr. Dan's going to be doing some treatments on me that's going to help loosen up all my muscles, get rid of adhesions, increase the blood flow to my muscles. You know, when I was at Oxygen Gym, it's a critical part of the process while they're putting on so much muscle to get all these treatments done. In fact, Big Ramey won't get this done any less than twice per week. And it's painful too, because it's not just a normal like massage situation. He's digging in and really loosening up all that sort of scar tissue and things that are building up inside the muscle as it's growing so quickly. So let's get started. Since I don't be doing
you been to a chiropractor before?
I gotcha.
Never chiropractor. I've gotten plenty of massages before. Thai massages, Swedish massages, done all sorts of stuff, but never chiropractor. So this will be the first time for me.
Yeah, because he reviewed my X-ray on my knees because my knees are popping and stuff. So I went and got an X-ray. He looked at it. He didn't see anything out of the ordinary. You said an MRI would give more information. I still hadn't got an MRI done. I probably still need some sort of knee injection or something to buffer it, but I'll deal with that later. For now, wearing the knee wraps is helping a lot.
Okay. Awesome. Well, then let's start with you on your back. So we'll kind of start with the chest and then work our way around.
Yeah, it's tighter.
Yeah. Seems like that left side seems a little bit stiffer.
Another thing that happens when we grow muscle very quickly is sometimes it grows asymmetrically. So you'll notice that one side of the body's muscle grows more than the other, and we try to use this type of therapy to get the muscle more symmetrical, get the flexibility the same on both sides, and have a professional like Dr. Dan figure out where we're developing asymmetrical muscle and or connective tissue issues. So he's able to look and feel the muscles and see where we need to get it balanced. Feels like a lot. I feel tight and full, but it's fluctuating a lot. We did 2 days of fasting and dropped 19 pounds in 2 days. So, but I'm like 220 projects and everything. And he actually had watched the intro to it because Kai Green posted about it.
Yeah.
And so I realized.
How's that in there?
Tight.
Yeah. And I can feel that whole rack and where that subscap kind of comes in there. It's pretty bound up. How did you come out though?
Alright, Kenny, have you ever been to a chiropractor?
No, never chiropractor. Plenty of massages in my past, but definitely not frequent enough. So the chiropractor will be first ever for me, I guess. Popping the cherry of the chiropractor adjustment. So hopefully it goes good. We'll see. I know some people will get instant relief after. I'm always one that's a little bit skeptical and eerie of anything that's like popping in my body. So we'll see how it goes though. Yeah, so day 5, today I can say is the first day I've felt better than any of the other days. So day 1 was fasted, of course. The body weight was 230. By the way, we weighed in today at day 5 fasted, which means in the morning, no food or anything, just straight out of bed, and was close to around 250. It was like 249, 250, which is a 20-pound increase, which is insane for the amount of time, especially because yesterday on day 4, we started to implement the diuretics, cutting the water. I had edema, which is the swelling of my ankles and my feet with a lot of water retention. So that all got dropped out, which I assume is where the 250 to 249 pounds came from. I feel a lot better. I've been getting some of the deepest sleep of my entire life since I've been here, which is definitely something I didn't expect when I initially agreed to come here and do this 7-day transformation. So that's remarkable. I'm talking the REM cycle sleep where you're getting insane long dreams. You wake up feeling extremely rested. My body finally doesn't feel as lethargic as it did on day 2 and 3 and 4. So day 5 has kind of been that turnaround day where everything's starting to come together. I still have the high weight cap. Maybe might even put on a couple more pounds is what I'm hoping, but starting to actually physically feel good as well. I mean, just like anyone, she's worried, you know. Like anytime you hear that your significant other or a friend or family member is going to go off for a week and just basically become a pincushion of drugs and eating an immense amount of foods and not knowing whether or not the people they're with know what they're doing or what they're putting in their body, it's definitely an eerie feeling and something that would, be a little unsettling. But she's supportive of it all. She knows the industry. She knows Tony. And, I, of course, give her as much support as possible because I know how knowledgeable Trevor is and everyone. And we're monitoring everything on a daily basis, getting the blood pressure, the heart rates, getting our glucose levels in the morning, making sure our blood sugar doesn't drop too much or go hypoglycemic. So everything, we're eliminating pretty much all the variables, making sure it's all very scientific to the point, making sure we're getting all of our food in at the right time, the training consistent. So, but it's just something that is going to be hard for anyone regardless to go and do this type of thing.
So chiropractor before?
One of my best friend's dad was a chiropractor, so yeah, I would get a lot of free work done, but I haven't been to a chiropractor in about 3 years though. That was like 3 years ago.
On day 5, progress, just what you feel like versus day 1?
So update on day 5, I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. Yesterday, the bloating, the lethargy. I mean, I came here at 204 pounds walking around midday. And yesterday I was walking around midday at 230 pounds. That is so much weight to gain in such a short period of time, most of it being bloat and water. So I'm glad we reworked the protocol. Actually woke up lighter this morning, 4 pounds lighter, and I feel 10 times better. My energy's higher, and I don't feel as sluggish. I feel like I have somewhat better movement, but yeah, the lethargy really got to me from the GH and everything bloating.
We could do a video just on Kenny Keogh's chest transformation, and the elements of the formafill and the active release and opening up the muscle, so we can have insane growth like this.
Oh, then don't even worry about it.
We'll do a lot of things. Get just like 10, 15 minutes.
Shit, I would only need 30 seconds, bro. Like
I know.
15 times.
Yeah, exactly. 15 times. Precisely 15 times. Face never look like this.
I've never seen his legs like that.
I know, it's just like a stallion.
Explaining what the importance of like stretching as a bodybuilder, especially when they work out the way they're working out, and doing like a short transformation.
Sure. So when it comes to stretching or mobility work, I think in bodybuilding it's especially important just because it's like you're putting on so much size. And if you think about it, as you put on all this lean tissue, you're basically going to start to limit range of motion, whether it's joint restriction or just tissue extensibility. A lot of that stuff just becomes really tight and starts to restrict. So by going through, and whether you're stretching on your own or getting in there and kind of breaking things up with active release technique or some sort of myofascial release, you're going to improve mobility, you're going to improve flexibility, and it's one of those things you're just going to be able to train more effectively.
Have you ever been to a chiropractor before?
No, should I just do a little update?
So this is just kind of like
What's going on, guys? Day 22, Kosh Aesthetics here. We are here at Epic Chiropractic. I'm in the middle of my hardening phase right now. So you guys saw me blow up to about 234. Chilling right now at about 220. Lost a lot of water and muscle glycogen. I could probably carb up to a good 227 and have that solid 20-pound muscle gain from the beginning 207 to the now 227 weigh-in. Looking super dense, super hard. Very happy with how things have gone thus far. But right now we're just shredding really hard just to make the epic transformation that much more epic. So right now I'm removing all of my body fat. So what that's going to do is on the last leg of the transformation, when we're getting ready to volumize the muscle, I'll get into the details about that in a second, but when we're getting ready to volumize the muscle, there will be literally no fat there, so just the muscles will just inflate against the skin and just everything will be round, bubbly, and it's just going to look awesome. From the 207 little soft physique that I used to have to now 227, maybe 230, even 232, rock hard, shredded. So it's going to be super epic. The protocol in which we are doing this is I have stopped growth hormone and insulin right now. I'm just resensitizing to all of that, dropping all the water. I'm taking S23, 80 to 100 milligrams a day. I'm just feeling that out just to harden up. Now, this is coming after the injectable LGD, so we have switched from injectable LGD to an oral S23 per Trevor's recommendation. Other than that, that is all I am really taking right now. That and testosterone. That really is it. It's just diet right now, a diet, training, cardio, and being very in tune with my body, what my body needs to drop this last amount of fat before we go into that last volumization phase of the transformation. Stay tuned, guys.
No problems with that?
No. Feels better than when Marco did it.
Digging in there pretty good.
What you're doing right now, is this like a pressure point to release tension in the chest?
So these aren't necessarily pressure points. What we're doing is we're basically applying pressure to that muscle belly. So as you shorten the muscle, you apply pressure and then you elongate the muscle. So what we're doing is we're basically stretching out that tissue further than you could possibly stretch it on your own. And so what you're doing is you're breaking down what some people would consider like a myofascial adhesion or any sort of restrictions that is not allowing that tissue to fully extend. So you guys have been living at that sushi place?
Dude, I live at the sushi place, bro.
Yeah?
Because you know what I mean? Like, sushi's not hella bad.
Right.
You know, it's not hella bad. Yeah, that's what's up. I fuck with, like, Raku sushi, Azukara for buffet.
Yeah.
And then for just eating, like...
Intro to the chest transformation of Kenny Ko. Right here we have Kenny Ko being worked on by Dr. Dan here at Epic Chiropractic in Sacramento, California. And there's multiple components to building his chest. We notice that he's got decent arms and shoulders. He's well balanced in a lot of muscles, but he's lacking the chest. So we're implementing these different protocols. Number one, what you're seeing right here is sort of actively releasing the muscle tissue, opening up the chest and all the related connected muscles to it. Because he's growing muscle so fast, the fascia and the adhesions and the lack of blood flow is going to become a limiting factor. So we're now relieving those limiting factors to muscle growth. Now, of course, we're going very high on the anabolics. We're going high on the growth hormone, high on the insulin. So we've got all the performance-enhancing drugs we need to grow a lot of muscle as fast as possible. We're also having a lot of rest and a lot of food. These are the critical components. We're also changing his training protocol, because if you notice how he trained before, he's very front delt dominant. That's taking all the stress away from the chest, especially the upper chest. So we're changing his exercises and we're changing what he's focusing on when he's lifting to give him the mind-muscle connection to the upper chest. And then, of course, the big secret that most people would never talk about is the site enhancement. We are injecting Formafil in his chest. We have 7 days to take him from having a very small or average chest, or below average for his body size, to make an awesome looking chest, so that we can make Craig Goliath proud and hit that upper chest shelf. So you guys are going to see the process and the different things that goes into building an amazing chest on Kenny Ko, so that he can compete later this summer and dominate the bodybuilding stage.
Update us on day 5 and the progress and everything, how everything's going.
It's day 5 of our epic day 7 It's day 5 of our epic 7-day transformation with Kenny Ko, Ryan Russo, and myself. Remember, this transformation is right in the middle of my own 30-day transformation, but I'm doing the exact same protocol as these guys are doing for their 7-day transformation. So we all happen to get similar side effects at similar times, which is great because we can all compare notes and mitigate it. For example, we had horrible water retention yesterday. We woke up like blimps, pressure on our heart, fatigued. We took diuretics, we drank more water, I drank green tea, we took Expel 750, the natural diuretic pills. We kept our diet clean. We did not eat out yesterday. We ate all home-cooked food. And we woke up this morning feeling much better. Also yesterday, we had Coach Marco stretch us, which opened up our rib cage, helped us breathe better. And then today, we're at Epic Chiropractic in Sacramento, California with Dr. Dan, who's also doing all these myofascial release on us and stretching our joints, tendons, and ligaments, making room for the new muscle growth and making it more comfortable to hold the tremendous amount of muscle we're building very quickly. I don't remember exactly how much muscle these guys have put on, but it's very visibly noticeable. It looks like they've put on 6 months worth of muscle in only 4 days. And that comes with a lot of discomfort. It comes with breathing harder, elevated heart rate, fatigue, lethargy. And so anything we can do to make ourselves feel better, breathe easier, pull that water off, helps us push harder for the next few days of the transformation, because we're redlining it. We can't afford to take our foot off the gas. We only have 7 days to put on as much muscle as possible. And as it is now, we're ahead of schedule, but we're also feeling pretty run down. We're going to try and get a really big nap this afternoon. We're going to try not to go more than 2 to 2.5 hours without eating. And we're going to keep our training today a little bit shorter and a little bit more intense so that we don't tax our central nervous system quite as much. I really believe in massages for bodybuilding and sports. In fact, I traveled to Oxygen Gym, and there they have these massages that are so intense. I mean, the bodybuilder that's giving you the massages on, putting his whole body weight on his elbows, grinding it out. And that's a normal protocol for the mass monsters who are growing so fast. And I understand it's necessary, because the bigger I get and the more muscle I get, and especially the faster I grow muscle, it gets so tight, it makes it hard to breathe, it makes it uncomfortable, and it feels, on the other side, equally good to have it massaged and opened up and be able to breathe again and have energy again. Now, my preference would be to get a massage every day, and I do. I always have a girlfriend massage me at night, but they can't quite put as much pressure in quite the right places like someone like Dr. Dan can, who's using more of these actively releasing the muscle fiber techniques, or like Coach Marco, who's leaning his whole body weight in and knows the physiology of the body. When I'm outside the country in Asia, I'm getting a massage almost every day. They do a lot of back walking, so you'll have a 120-pound Asian girl walking on her heels, breaking up all the muscle tissue and increasing the blood flow. But in the United States, it's hard to get a massage every day. It's just not as convenient, and it's extremely expensive, and they're just not as well trained as the ones in Asia. But the good thing is, in America, we have places like sports chiropractors or sports massage therapists that have extra education, that know how to deal with this amount of muscle. And so even though it's not economical to use it every day, doing something like this once a week for someone who's trying to put on a lot of muscle really quickly is extremely helpful to putting on more muscle faster, healthy, and feels really good.
Other than that, I'm just like mobility from getting so much weight.
Okay.
But
So same kind of deal.
there's tightness down here for sure. Right around there.
Perfect. Let's have you. It's probably sore from that as well.
I kind of strained my lumbar honestly a week before coming out here, but
I'm at the restroom.
because if you do MK677, that's like equivalent to like 2 IU of extra, which is pretty much what you want.
Yeah.
Not 20.
Okay.
Awesome. 3, 2, 1. That's cool.
Maybe you said the same thing?
She's smashing my boobs.
Facing you on your side.
Uh-oh, here we go. He's gonna smash my boobs, really.
So face me this way. On your side. There you go. We'll get this.
This is my first time. Wow. Oh my goodness sake, seriously?
See the other side? Things are moving.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so working with Tony, the things that I've noticed as you put on more size, the things that kind of become restricting factors with training is mobility becomes an issue. With all this tissue, it starts to restrict movement. And so if you're unable to kind of improve mobility as you're putting on size, it's going to start to affect your training. It's going to make you a little bit more likely to develop injuries just from so with Tony, as he gets bigger and bigger, all that additional mass, it leads to problems. One of the things that you can notice is just the ability to kind of get blood flow in some of those tissues may become limited. Simple tasks like breathing and just moving around, general movement things, I think will become problematic if you don't address them well. One major thing too is as you start to put on size, it's going to start to limit range of motion. You're going to have difficulty just going through the same movement patterns that you have in the past, and so it's going to affect your training, how well you can kind of contract muscles and be able to activate certain movements well enough because of that. So one issue that you have as you put on muscle so quickly is the muscle belly grows much faster than the tendinous junctions, and so the likelihood of injury, it goes up. If you're growing so fast and the tendon can't really keep up, or that attachment on the bone, it's like the likelihood of developing tendinopathies, ruptures, things like that, it just increases as you put on this very fast additional. So one thing with Kenny is from his left shoulder to his right shoulder, there's a pretty big discrepancy as far as mobility. He has a history of some shoulder dislocation stuff, which kind of leads you down this pathway of instability. And the way your body adapts to that instability is it tightens up, and so which is going to affect mobility. And so when you see an asymmetry like that, I think that's one of the most important things that you need to address, is because symmetry, with movement, with posing, with anything, concerning bodybuilding is everything. So I think if we can improve mobility on the side that had the dislocation, not only is his training going to improve, but posing and all the other things will also kind of. So with Akash, it's been a bit since I've seen him, and the amount of size that he's put on since the last time I saw him is pretty impressive. I'm not sure how healthy putting on size like this in that kind of time period, but from just a general appearance, it's pretty astounding how fast he's put on size. The thing that really surprises me about these transformations is not necessarily just putting on the size, but the quality as well. It's like, he's not all bloated, he's not really soft. He's managed to maintain a lot of that conditioning while still putting on this size, and I think that's the thing that's probably most impressive to me.